beauty influencer with 15 million followers is being called fake. Again, MIKAYLA Nogueira has been accused of lying to fans, dodging accountability, and this time she's clapping back. We're diving into what triggered the backlash, how MIKAYLA's response shifted public opinion, and whether this could be her breaking point or redemption arc. Have you ever trusted a creator's recommendation and it turned out to be total BS? Drop your worst influencer fail story in the comments. Let's expose the glam from the scam. It all started with a mascara TikTok that MIKAYLA Nogueira probably thought would be just another sponsored post. She raved about the volume, the length, the drama, but the internet saw something else. False lashes. Within hours, comment sections filled with accusations. That's a strip lash. Not even subtle. Did we not just go through this last year? And just like that, Lash-Gate 2.0 was born. The outrage wasn't just about the mascara. It was about trust. Fans felt like they were being misled. Again, because from someone whose brand is built on being real and relatable. Influencers hype products all the time, but when it feels fake, people take it personally. Influence is fragile. One lie can rewrite your whole brand. And that's the danger of parasocial trust. People don't just buy what you sell, they believe what you say. When that belief cracks, even a mascara ad becomes a full-blown scandal. What made this backlash spiral so fast was the deja vu. Just a year ago, MIKAYLA was accused of faking results in another sponsored mascara video. So when fans spotted what looked like a lash strip this time, they were quick to react. TikTok sleuths slowed down footage, analyzed lighting, even compared eye angles. One comment went viral. We've seen this movie before. Same plot, different tube. People weren't just mad, they were disappointed. Again, once you're doubted, every move becomes suspicious. The vibe shifted fast. Casual fans turned skeptical, old controversies resurfaced. The community started connecting dots that may or may not even exist. But when trust is gone, logic doesn't matter, perception does. Even those trying to give MIKAYLA the benefit of the doubt couldn't ignore how familiar this all felt. For a creator praised for honesty and authenticity, it was a blow. Because when your entire brand is built on being the no BS beauty girl, the minute people think you're faking it, it's game over. MIKAYLA didn't stay quiet. She posted a 3-minute video denying the claims and calling out what she saw as double standards. "You really think I need falsies for volume like that?" she said. Her tone was calm but clearly annoyed. She insisted she followed all the instructions and used only the mascara. Responding with confidence isn't enough. Receipts speak louder than sass. Her fans backed her immediately. They're always trying to tear her down. This is just jealousy. But the comments were split. Others said she didn't show proof, no raw footage, no close-up reapplication, just her word. And in this climate, that's not always enough. Critics said it sounded like deflection, not accountability. Supporters saw it as standing up for herself. Either way, the divide grew sharper. MIKAYLA's response didn't end the backlash. It intensified the debate. The question now wasn't just did she lie, it became can we still believe her? Once the video went viral, the internet went into full detective mode. Reddit threads dissected every frame. Creators zoomed in, slowed down, analyzed the lash line. "There's a visible band," one said. Others claimed it was simply great mascara and good lighting. A few even recreated the look. Some successfully, others not so much. Online justice moves fast, but it isn't always fair. The deeper issue, people were less interested in the facts and more obsessed with confirming their own bias. If you believed MIKAYLA was dishonest, every blink was proof. If you supported her, you dismissed it all as hate. This wasn't just about makeup anymore. It was about perception, about influence, and about how quickly an internet audience can flip from fandom to forensics. The lash itself became secondary. What mattered was the trust, or the lack of it. In this space, the line between truth and suspicion is razor thin, and MIKAYLA's standing right on it. While fans battled in the comments, other influencers began weighing in. Manny MUA tweeted, "People act like beauty influencers are committing crimes. It's makeup." Some saw that as support, others saw it as dismissal. Online hate thrives when empathy disappears. Protect your circle. Creators like Nikki Tutorials liked MIKAYLA's posts. Ours stayed silent. Behind the scenes, the industry was split. No one wanted to get dragged into the mess, but everyone was watching. The backlash sparked a bigger question. Why do female beauty creators get ripped apart for small mistakes while other niche influencers, especially men, get a pass? The answer isn't simple, but the pattern's real. Some argued MIKAYLA was being held to impossible standards. Others said she was simply facing consequences. But either way, the double standard became part of the discourse. And while the support helped soften the blow, it didn't erase it. Because public approval might echo loud, but public doubt sticks deeper. When the scandal hit, all eyes turned to Mikayla's brand partners. Would they pull out, issue statements, distance themselves? Nope. Silence. Brands like Tarte, Glow Recipe, and Benefit continued posting their own campaigns. Mikayla's content kept rolling. No lost deals, no public fallout. Some even speculated her engagement went up during the controversy. Brands are watching, even if they're not speaking. Reputation cuts both ways. But fans noticed the silence, and they didn't like it. Why are brands ignoring this? Do they care about honesty or just clicks? The loyalty from sponsors raised questions about what matters more, creator integrity or conversion rates. Truth is, Mikayla still pulls views. She still sells products. And for many brands, that's the bottom line. Till a scandal hits where numbers tank, most will stay quiet. That's the dark side of influence. Your value is often measured in stats, not standards. And when brands stay loyal, even during backlash, fans begin to wonder if anything truly holds weight anymore. After the backlash, Mikayla didn't fully disappear, but she did pivot. Suddenly her content felt different, less polished, more casual. Get ready with me videos where she showed off puffy eyes and messy hair, skincare routines with imperfect lighting. She even admitted when a product didn't work for her, a rare moment of honesty that fans appreciated. Authenticity isn't just a trend, it's a survival strategy now. It looked like a reset. A soft rebrand. The influencer who once shouted, "I'm obsessed" with every release was now showing restraint, even hesitation, and fans started noticing. The tone wasn't overly defensive or fake relatable. It was quieter, more tired, more human. Whether it was genuine vulnerability or strategic damage control, it started to shift the conversation. Her core audience, the ones who felt most betrayed, began to soften. Because at the end of the day, what followers crave most isn't perfection. It's proof that the person behind the glam is still a person. And in this digital age, messy might just be the new trustworthy. The fallout brought something deeper to light. How much of influencer trust is real and how much of it is marketing? With Mikayla, people weren't just mad about one video. They started questioning everything. Her past reviews, her tone, her overly excited reactions. What once felt genuine now felt rehearsed, scripted, too polished to believe. Trust sells more than any product ever could. Fans began re-watching her old videos with a new lens. Was she ever actually honest? One comment read, or was it always just good PR? And that question doesn't just hit Mikayla, it hits the whole industry. The scary part? No one knows for sure, because content is curated, even the raw ones. Influencers sell more than makeup. They sell intimacy, relatability, vulnerability. But if that's part of the act, what's real anymore? The answer might be not much. And that's why this controversy felt personal. When someone you trusted turns out to be another player in the promo game, it's not just disappointing, it's disillusioning. As things escalated, a new narrative bubbled up, one that had nothing to do with lashes. Why are beauty influencers, especially women, dragged harder than creators in other spaces? Accountability should be equal, not aesthetic. Think about it. When a male tech influencer overhypes a product, the comment section shrugs. When a fitness bro exaggerates a supplement, but when Mikayla possibly wears a lash, outrage. Some called it misogyny. Others said it was just finally holding influencers accountable. But the double standard was hard to ignore. The rules seem harsher in beauty, and even more brutal when the influencer is loud, emotional, and unapologetically feminine. Mikayla's accent, her dramatic reactions, her crying videos, those traits once made her lovable. Now they're weaponized. People mock how she talks, how she looks, how she emotes. That's not criticism, that's character assassination. And while she might have made mistakes, it's worth asking, are we judging the action or the aesthetic? The internet doesn't let anything go, and Mikayla's past is no exception. As the lash scandal spread, people started digging. Old videos resurfaced. One clip from 2021 showed her raving about a setting spray that locked in makeup all day. But another creator claimed Mikayla later admitted privately that it did nothing. Online memory never fades. Everything becomes evidence. Suddenly, it wasn't about one questionable post. It was a pattern. She's been exaggerating for years, some claimed. Threads popped up connecting different sponsorships, comments, deleted responses. Fans began questioning whether the entire Mikayla brand had always been too good to be true. That's the thing about online credibility. Once the thread is pulled, the whole sweater starts unraveling. It doesn't matter if some claims are exaggerated. If enough people feel like you've been dishonest, the details become irrelevant. The damage isn't in the proof, it's in the perception. What followed was subtle, but powerful. Mikayla's audience didn't just react. it splintered. Loyal fans stayed vocal, defending her in every comment thread, but casual viewers, they vanished. Divided fans equals dying momentum. Unity is currency. Her new post still got views, but the vibe was different. Likes dipped, comments slowed. The OMG, I love you energy was replaced with quiet scrolling, or worse, silence. For influencers, that's a red flag. Controversy creates noise. But when people stop engaging altogether, that's when things really fall apart. Creators don't survive on views alone. They survive on loyalty, shares, saves, conversions. When that core audience fractures, the entire brand structure starts to shake. And MIKAYLA, she's right in the middle of that shift. Forget cancellation. For beauty creators, the real fear is becoming irrelevant. When fans stop trusting you, they stop listening. You can post the most flawless look, but if people don't believe in you anymore, it won't matter. And that's the scary part of MIKAYLA's current moment. Once the crowd turns, even glam can't save you. Losing credibility is like a slow leak. First it's mascara, then it's old videos, then it's silence from brands. Suddenly, you're no longer that girl on TikTok. You're just background noise. And the worst part, it's a slow fade, one that you only notice after it's too late. For MIKAYLA, this backlash might not end her career, but it's already shifted her position in the space. And unless she can rebuild that broken trust, every post from here on out will carry an invisible asterisk. But can we believe her? MIKAYLA's at a crossroads, and it's bigger than an apology. Because right now, an I'm sorry won't cut it. Audiences don't want polished statements. They want change. Visible, messy, vulnerable. Change. Apology tours don't work. Authentic pivots do. So what's next? She could double down on her usual content and hope the algorithm forgets. Or she could flip the script. Strip back the glam. Post raw tutorials. Show the bloopers. Let fans in on the process, not just the product, because that's what's working now. Not the curated perfection of old school YouTube beauty, but the chaos of the real. People don't want flawless faces. They want honesty, even if it's clumsy. Reinvention is scary, but for MIKAYLA, it might be her only move. A fresh chapter, one where she re-educates her audience on who she is without the brand deals, the noise, the filter. And if she does it right, people might just give her a second chance. To her credit, MIKAYLA did post something different, a stripped down Q&A. No glam, just her, talking softly to the camera, visibly emotional. I know people are hurt, she said, and I get why. For the first time in weeks, she wasn't defending herself. She was reflecting. Sometimes, stepping down from the pedestal builds more trust than standing tall. She admitted she's been overwhelmed, that she's made mistakes. And while it wasn't a full apology, it was the closest she's come to real vulnerability since the scandal hit. The reaction? Mixed. Some viewers said it felt refreshing. Others said it came too late. But one thing was clear. People are tired of perfection. They want mess. They want humanity. And even though the Q&A didn't solve everything, it cracked the armor just enough to remind fans why they followed her in the first place. Not for the flawless looks, but for the feeling that she was one of them. MIKAYLA's work ethic is no joke. She's mentioned filming 5 to 7 pieces of content in one sitting, editing late into the night, juggling PR, sponsorships, comments, and more, all while maintaining that bubbly, I'm obsessed energy. But no one can run at 110% forever. Burnout creates blind spots. Blind spots breed backlash. When you're that deep in hustle mode, it's easy to lose perspective. Maybe you don't realize how your content comes across. Maybe you overhype a product without even thinking. Maybe you lean on a filter or a lash and forget how closely your fans are watching. This isn't an excuse, but it is a factor. Influencers are expected to be content machines, but burnout makes even the most well-meaning creators sloppy. And when you're constantly in survival mode, things fall through the cracks. MIKAYLA might be dealing with the consequences of pushing too hard for too long. Behind the ring lights and viral hauls is a system that thrives on burnout. Beauty creators aren't just posting, they're competing. Every post has to perform. Every product has to pop. And if it doesn't, you're replaceable. When survival mode kicks in, transparency takes a back seat. A beauty insider told Insider anonymously, most influencers aren't trying to lie. They're trying to stay relevant. That's the ugly truth. It's not always about deception. Sometimes it's desperation. For someone like Mikayla, the pressure is intense. Every day she doesn't post, she risks slipping out of the algorithm. Every bad launch could lose her the next deal. And in that race, little shortcuts, like a lash strip or a flattering filter, can start to feel harmless, but they add up. The influencer economy rewards output, not honesty. And until the system changes, we'll keep seeing creators caught in the same cycle. Hustle, burnout, backlash, repeat. Mikayla's next steps matter more than anything she's done so far. Not because fans expect perfection, but because they expect something real. A reset, a reckoning, a moment of truth. Comeback or collapse. The next move is everything. She's already taken some small steps. Quieter videos, more honest product takes. But now she's at the tipping point. If she ignores the scandal and pretends it's business as usual, audiences will move on fast. But if she leans in, if she opens up about burnout, about the industry, about where she messed up, there's a chance at redemption. People don't want a perfect influencer. They want one who learns. And maybe this moment, as messy as it is, could be her turning point. Not a breakdown, but a breakthrough. If she can show her audience who she really is behind the sponsorships, they might be ready to meet her there. This scandal was never just about mascara. It's about the blurred line between influence and illusion. The gap between what creators show and what's actually real. Your trust is your vote. Spend it wisely. Mikayla's rise and her backlash revealed the fragile nature of online fame. It exposed how quickly audiences can turn, how hungry the internet is for accountability, and how little room there is for error when your brand is you. But it also raised a bigger question. What do we expect from influencers? Perfection? Honesty? Or just entertainment? Because if we keep demanding more content, faster results, and endless energy, we're building a system that breaks the very people we claim to love. Maybe Mikayla will recover, maybe she won't, but this moment should make all of us, fans, creators, brands, pause, reevaluate, and ask, are we building something sustainable or just chasing another viral collapse? At the end of the day, this isn't just about one mascara ad or one influencer. It's about the entire ecosystem we've built on trust, aesthetics, and attention. MIKAYLA Nogueira's story is messy, but it's also familiar, because this is what happens when digital fame meets real-life pressure and when authenticity becomes currency. Mikayla's facing a pivotal moment, not because of a false lash, but because the rules have changed. The audience is smarter, the expectations are higher, and the path to redemption, it's steeper than ever. So whether she falls, fades, or flourishes from here, it'll be a lesson for every influencer watching, for every brand negotiating a deal, and for every viewer deciding who's worth their scroll. If you found this breakdown helpful or insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more no-fluff commentary. And hey, if you're still here, comment "Trust is everything" below, because truly, in this space, it is. And in the next video, we're digging into a scandal that might just be even bigger than this one. This video is commentary and opinion based on publicly available information. It is intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only, not professional advice. Please consult a qualified expert when necessary.